Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Athira from Government College, Thrippunithura. So, I'm here for the paper presentation on the topic based on Man versus Nature in the Hungry Tide by Amitav Ghosh. So, Amitav Ghosh is a prominent writer, and the Hungry Tide was published in 2005. And as you all know, Hungry Tide is a novel by Amitav Ghosh, explores the intricate and tumultuous relationship between the humanity and the natural world. So the main theme of the novel is that the conflict between man and nature. It was set in the Sundarbans, a remote and ecologically diverse region of India. The novel delves into the lives of characters who grapple with the formidable forces of nature, include the relentless tides, the fierce wildlife, and the ever-shifting landscape. The Sundarbans' unique ecosystem and the characters' struggles to coexist with it serve as a backdrop for the novel's exploration of themes such as environmental conservation, then cultural clashes, and the enduring human spirit. And Amitav Ghosh skillfully weaves these elements together to create a thought-provoking narrative that challenges conventional notions of man's dominions over nature, ultimately highlighting the profound impact of nature on human lives and the enduring struggle for coexistence. And the main theme of the novel is that eco-criticism. As you all know, what is eco-criticism? It is the study of literature and the environment from an interdisciplinary point of view, where literature scholars analyze texts that illustrate environmental concerns and examine the various ways literature treats the subject of nature. More about eco-criticism, that is, it was first organized or originated by Joseph Maker as an idea called literary ecology. It is the comedy of survival. The term eco-criticism was coined in 1978 by William Ruckert in his essay Literature and Ecology. It takes an interdisciplinary point of view by analyzing the works of authors, researchers and poets in the context of environmental issues and nature. And some eco-critics brainstorm possible solutions for the correction of contemporary environment situation, though not all eco-critics agree on the purpose, methodology or scope of eco-criticism. In the United States, eco-criticism is often associated with the Association for the Study of Literature and Environment, that is ASLE, which hosts a biennial conference for scholars who deal with the environmental matters in literature and the environmental humanities in general. The eco-criticism is an intentionally broad approach that is known by a number of other designations, including green studies, ecopoetics, and environmental literary criticism, and is often informed by other fields such as ecology, sustainable design, biopolitics, environmental history, and environmentalism, sociology, among others. And more about eco-criticism, that is, it is divided into two ways. That is, eco-criticism is divided into two ways, recognizing the first as taking place throughout the 80s and 90s. The first wave was characterized by its emphasis on nature writing as an object of study and as a meaningful practice. Central to this way, to the majority of eco-critics still today, is the environmental crisis of our age, seeing it as the duty of both the humanities and natural sciences to raise awareness and invent solutions for a problem that is both cultural and physical. As such, a primary concern in first wave eco-criticism was to speak for nature. This is perhaps where eco-criticism gained its reputation as an avowedly political mode of analysis. And about second wave, that is, it is particularly modern in its breaking down of some of the long-standing distinction between human and the non-human, questioning this very concept, the boundaries between the human and the non-human, nature and non-nature are discussed as constructions, and eco-critics challenge these constructions, asking how they frame the environmental crisis and its solutions. And the Hungry Tide, the novel Hungry Tides, takes place in Sundarbans, as I said earlier. It takes place in Sundarbans and the archipelago of islands that forms of Ganges Delta. The island of Sundarbans vary in size from tiny spits of land to land masses of considerable size, though they are constantly made and remade by the ever-changing tides and regularly occurring cyclones. And the islands and rivers are covered in mangrove forest that shelter man-eating crocodiles like snakes and Bengal tigers, all of which constantly threaten the lives of Sundarbans residents. And the novel suggests that while outside of human conflicts certainly affect life in the Sundarbans, the struggle to survive in a natural world that seems entirely inhospitable to humans is a far more pressing concern. Despite the locals' deep connection to the land and environment, it is also important to recognize the residents of the Sundarbans still live in fear of their environment. And upon her arrival on Lucibury in 1950, Nilima is shocked when she learns that wives dress as widows when their husbands go out fishing or gather honey. At least one woman is guaranteed to be widowed after every outing. Given the aggressive and dangerous crocodiles and tigers that attack and kill humans with tragic regularity. To address this, locals rely heavily on the story of the goddess born Bibi, whom they believe watches over the island. And according to the legend, she long ago drew a line through the island to separate her good realm from the evil realm of a tiger demon. More about ecological concern have been the major subject of Ghosh. So the major subject of Ghosh was ecological concerns, and main nature relationship is vividly portrayed in most of his literary works. And in his ecological novel, The Hungry Tide, Ghosh grappled with ecological questions. Ghosh's minute description of the nature in The Hungry Tide is regarded as the epitome of an eco-critical writer who attempts to give a loud voice to the entity nature. And while concluding, nature is a great reminder of the transient nature of the divisions between individuals of whatever social class. And The Hungry Tide by Amitav Ghosh deals with the power of nature and its borderless states, lives of people living in such unusual settings, and it also underscores the fragility of man's brief time of earth. And the novel reminds that what human beings are weaklings in the hands of immortal nature and emphasizing forcefully the struggles of human for survival in adverse conditions and humility that is demanded in the face of nature and the place of manhood. And The Hungry Tide is an evocative journey along the channels and lanes of the delta, coasting along swamps and mangroves, stopping at haunts of local shelters, grazing, encounters with dolphins, Bengal tigers and crocodile. The geology, history, biology and sociology of the entire era are also woven in the narrative thought, the characters of Nirmal, Fokir, Priya, Kanai and so on. And Sundarbans emerges as a central characters in its own rights. And it can be considered to be the real hero of novel itself. Thank you.